Okay, hey guys, it's Paul. This here is how we're going to be teaching class for a couple of weeks because of the COVID-19. So what we're going to do today is I'm going to go over a couple of jet boils for you. So we've talked about how you guys have maybe go backpacking or camping and things like that. So this is a system that I really haven't used, but I've had a lot of students use it when we go on our backpacking trips to Colorado. So I'm going to go over a couple with you guys today. So the first one here, this is the Jetboil Sumo, and it's really for 2 to 4 people. So your group will be actually pretty big to be able to use this. The other one we're going to go over is the I don't know if it's Minimo or Minimo or what, but it's M-I-M-I-N-I-M-O. All right, so that's what the other one we're going to go over, and we'll do that on a different video. But for the first one, we'll just kind of go over this whole little thing here, but it's all self-contained, so you could take this in your backpack. And so what you'll do is on the top here is the lid. And so inside that lid is going to be a base for your fuel can. So, you know, if you want to give it a little bit extra stability, you basically put that on the bottom of your fuel can. It's also nice when you're using a pan because reading the directions, it says make sure that you use the base for the fuel can when you're using a pan to boil. That way it just gives a little bit more stability so it's not so top heavy. So we'll kind of go over what's in here. So this here is your canister. This is 1.8 liters. There is marks on the inside of that. You guys probably can't see that, but I'm going to show it to you anyways. But that's going to be where you're going to put your food, or also you're going to put your water for boiling, and that's what I'm going to do today, is just boil the water. So also inside there you'll have this little bag, and in the bag is actually the stove itself. And so the stove itself is going to go on top of there, and then this piece you actually won't use unless you are using the pan itself. All right, so I'm going to set that to the side. So on the bottom here, this is the cup. So I guess you can use this to eat in. You can also, there's some measurements on the side here as well. One thing that I found out earlier when I was messing with this is don't just try to pull it off. If you line up, there are some dog ears on there, and there's a channel, pulls right off. So that's what we're going to do. So when you're going to grab this, you're going to look at it. One of the first things you want to do is kind of make sure that the igniter is working, and so just make sure that you push the little button right there, and then here is your adjustment knob here. On the inside, you want to make sure that you have that O-ring inside there. If you don't have that O-ring, you're probably going to spew fuel everywhere. So it's probably going to be wise for you to grab a new one on that. So your fuel canister. This fuel canister is what you're going to be using. It's not refillable that I know of. And so if you're going on a long trip, they have different sizes of these too. This here is a let's see, a 100, and so they say that these last for so long, depends on, you know, how much water you're trying to boil and all that. So make sure the O-ring's in there, place that on there, righty tighty lefty loosey. You'll hear some fuel kind of leak past there, and then you're gonna make sure that it's turned off. You don't need to crank it tight, you just basically need to put it hand tight like so. And so what I'm going to do, I am actually going to put the base on there, and that just kind of clips in there like so on all 3 sides like that. Gives it way more stability than just sitting on the fuel can itself. When we're going to boil some water, and how we're going to boil some water is just turn it on, place this on here, and lock it into place. Now if you look at this, there are these little spots here, and then on the top there's some little nipples right here that you'll just stick in there turn it a little bit and we'll lock it in place. So what we'll do is we're going to turn it on, and we'll make sure, we'll see if we can see it. Earlier I couldn't see it because the sun was going so right above me. So we're going to click it a couple of times, and as we're clicking it, we're going to turn it on, and you'll start to hear it. Okay, and then it's on, and then you can kind of see we can adjust it, you know, way high and all that. Okay, so that is on there. You don't want to put this on without anything in it because you can heat it up too much and it actually can catch on fire. And so what I'm going to do, I'm actually going to cook one of these Mountain House meals for my girls. They wanted to try this, so I'm going to do that. And we are going to boil the water, put it in there, let it prep, and then they will try it. So for this, it needs 12 fluid ounces. So we can actually see the 16. So I'm just going to go somewhere like that, and then I will put this on like that, turn it. It is all one piece now, and we'll turn that on. Okay, so about 4 minutes is what it takes for this to boil, so that's pretty dang fast. So I'm just going to turn it on and let that go right there. So that's the kind of the Jetboil. That's the Sumo. Now the Minimo, I'm going to call it the Minimo because I like the way that one sounds, is pretty much the same way. And so everything's the same. It's just for a single person going out. And so with that, it does look the same. Okay. All the components are the same, just like that. Same thing goes in there once we take this off. Okay, and then we'll do that here in a second. But as that's going, these meals are kind of hard to come by right now just because of the situation that we're all in. I've seen a lot of people buying stockpiles of them. Luckily, I was able to find some just for the class. And so we are going to try that here in a second. So a couple of things with the Sumo, kind of a few notes why this is going. One is when you use it, don't use it in an enclosed space. So if you are camping, you're backpacking, don't use it in your tent. If you're car camping in a van or something like that, do not use it in your van. It does produce carbon monoxide, and this is what I have to deal with because kids aren't in school and they like to be on TV, I guess. So for this, it says it's 16 ounces. But I guess that's pretty much the fuel that you, or not the fuel, sorry, but the water that you can put in there. And it's boiling already. So one of the things is it does cost about $160. I looked online at Cabela's, I looked at backcountry.com, and so it says for 4 cups it will boil in about 4 minutes and 15 seconds. I did 4 cups earlier and it was under 4 minutes. And so I'm just gonna go ahead, turn that off. It is boiling, so we're going to be careful because it is a little bit warm up here, and this here you can actually hold on to and turn and then take it off. On the lid here, it is pretty nice. So if you wanted to drink something, it's just like a lid that you would get at a convenience store on a reusable cup where you can just drink out of it. And there's also a spot for some strainers. So after you eat with it, and of course take that guy out, and we'll put this in here. Stir it up. And I'm just going to let it set there for the 10 minutes. Close it. And there's a nice little snack for my kiddos in the middle of the day. When you are ready to go back on the trail, put it in your car or whatever you're wanting to do, make sure that it's all cooled down, because these metal pieces are going to be hot, so you don't want to just go ahead and grab that. So we'll let it cool down just a little bit, and then we'll put it all in its container together, and we can put it away. Okay, so that was video 1. We will do video 2 here in a second, and we will do the Minimo, and we will visit about that. See you later.